Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I am Pastor John McClain here, sans Dr. Jennifer Herrera, the superintendent of Tucson International Academy. For those math geeks out there, that means minus Dr. Jennifer Herrera. She is in Las Vegas doing a speaking event?
Conference.
A conference,
doing a
yeah,
presentation.
something important. I know that. Dr. J is being important right now, so she's not with us. But we got a pretty cool replacement. This will be cool. We have Principal Meehan and Principal Montemayor here in her stead.
Thank you for having us here once again, Pastor John.
It's my pleasure. Thank Dr. J, because she saw in her mind that you guys are going to do great. So I'm excited.
So you raised the bar now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Are you any more nervous? Yes.
Just a tad bit more, yes.
Absolutely. And then as well as having these awesome principals here in studio with us. Actually, we didn't talk about it last show, but what campuses are you guys principals at?
I'm from the Broadway campus.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm from the East Campus.
Okay, and where are those located at?
The East Campus is at 450 North Pantano.
Okay.
It's on Pantano. It's about halfway between Broadway and Speedway.
Okay.
And the Broadway campus is at 1230 East Broadway. It's by Broadway and Park.
Okay, that's a pretty good location, pretty central.
Yes, and we're just south of the U of A, within walking distance.
Okay, so that's it. Which one is like the premier campus? Do we?
Broadway. No, it's East Side, man.
Campus, yes.
we got the better letter grade, man.
Okay. Awesome. And then also a cool surprise here, another opportunity on the Making College Come True radio show that we have a couple of the students that have actually graduated from Tucson International Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually graduated from the East Campus.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Nice.
we have Nixie Salcido and Maria Carmela Okaya.
Okay.
They both graduated 2 years ago, actually, and last year was their first full year and finished at their first year at the University of Arizona.
Okay. Awesome. That's amazing. So you guys are like the Tucson International Academy success stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, sure, yeah, why not? Yeah.
They also, to their credit, they also, Maria Carmela, she finished first. She was a salutatorian for the district. And then Nixie came in as the salutatorian of the schools.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds official.
Yeah.
It sounds like a big deal.
That means their rating was first and second in the district. So.
Yeah, their
pretty
GPA overall, they were number one and number two, valedictorian and salutatorian.
That's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Pretty cool. So I guess welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess okay, tell me names again.
Okay, Nixie Salcido. She's on your far end over there.
Okay.
And then Maria Carmela. Okay.
So we'll start with Maria. Tell us about initially, why your family and why you guys chose Tucson International Academy.
So I went to Tucson International Academy when I was in 6th grade. Okay. And it was actually the first year I came here to the U.S. because I came from the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah. So since it's an international school, it's like it's probably easier for me to like learn how to speak English there better since the teachers were just like super friendly.
Okay. And then so when you first started, so it was the only school that you knew pretty much coming into the States. This interesting. So there's not even like a comparison you have. This is what you know, Tucson International Academy. And then I'm assuming you went there all the way through 12th grade. Interesting. Okay. And I guess I open the same question to you, Nikki.
So my family chose the Tucson International Academy because they really liked that it went from kinder to 12th grade, and they just really liked having all of us. So there's like 3 other of us, sisters. They liked having us all together in one school where it was much easier to like come and pick us up like all at the one time and all stuff like that. Yeah.
And what grade did you start going to Tucson International
So
Academy?
I began around 5th grade.
Nice. So before that, you did go to a different type of school. In comparison, what were your thoughts?
Well, going into TIA, it was like really like small and like less people in a classroom, which I really liked because before that I used to go to another big school and I didn't really like having those like a lot of people in one class because there wasn't really like much attention, or like you couldn't really make friends that well because you kept trading each class. So I really liked having those really small class where like the teacher really paid attention to you. But that's what I really liked.
Nice. And I think I've heard before, particularly you say you have 3 other siblings, and I've heard like particularly with your older siblings, where do you rank in those siblings particularly? Are you the oldest or the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, the oldest. So
yeah.
What I've heard in the past from teachers or just different people from Tucson International Academy is like, if there's a problem with, let's say, your younger sibling, they'll contact you and they'll be like, hey, can you go talk to your younger sibling and get them to act correct? Did you ever have a situation like that?
Well, no, I never had that, but I did have like some moments where like my sisters used to like, we used to meet like in the bathroom, like, oh, how was your day? And I was like, yeah, but like not really like those situations where like a teacher would come and be like, oh, go talk to your sisters.
Yeah, you and your
yeah.
sisters are probably the good kids, I'm guessing, right?
Oh, I would say that.
Yeah, that's nice. So what like what was it like being because you know, in these campuses, like you're saying, they're smaller campuses. What was it like being in that close vicinity to your siblings?
I would say like really brought us closer because like me and my sister, she's like 2 years, well, like a grade younger than me, and we used to be in the same class, and having that interaction like every day, like having to have projects, homework and stuff with her really brought us closer, which I believe like would not have happened if we went to another school where like she was like in another classroom. And so I think it really brought us closer. Nice.
And I guess, Maria, I don't know, do you have any siblings that attended school with you?
Yeah, I have a brother there too.
Okay. And older, younger?
He's younger.
Okay. So what was that like, attending a school with your brother in that
I
vicinity?
agree with Nixie because he also was in the same class as me, as well as with her sister, and then we would like, they were like part of like our group pretty much, and we would do like projects together, and like we were all in student council, so that was also pretty cool. So all of us like pretty much got like brought together.
You guys were like a crew.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, because I mean, I guess occasionally you hear of situations where like, you know, brothers hang out or brothers and sisters hang out in friend groups, but usually not. You know, at least say the schools where I went to, like my friend Corey, he had a sister that was a year younger than us. And like, she wasn't part of our friend group. It was just the way it was, and it was, you know, it was life. It was the way our society was. But it seems like TIA almost is like designed to kind of get rid of that, to make it so that you can actually be friends. You can actually be close and bonded with your sibling, where at another school where you don't have the same classes, you don't have that type of vicinity to your sibling, not so much. Yeah. Nice. I mean, I guess we have probably about 30 seconds before we have to go to break. What are your thoughts on that, principals? I'm just making it too easy on you, huh, Principal?
No, I think that's good. And I think it just reinforces what was said earlier. You know, we are a community, and this helps bring families together and community together. And I think it's wonderful. You see that kids, they do work together. That's why we have a great student council every year, because they actually pass the torch on to their younger siblings for our new student council. So it takes off between them and the friends that they develop in the school. So it's a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's cool. This is probably the first time I've really heard it like furled out and expressed to the capacity that it has. But it's awesome to definitely hear it from you guys. Like, this is for real. This isn't just the teachers and the administration trying to sell it to the public. Like, this is coming from the students. Like, this is a really cool school that we have going on. But we'll talk about all that and more after this break. This kind of action-packed Tucson International Academy. We got like the whole crew here. Like, the only thing we're missing is a couple teachers, I feel like. And I don't know if you guys have a janitor, but you do. No, yeah, you do. Yeah.
Well, we do every role there. So
okay,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, I am the janitor, actually. Let me go get my janitor smock real quick. I'll be back.
We do change hats a lot.
So that's Principal Montemayor and Principal Meehan. You hear there in studio with me. I'm Pastor John McClain. This is the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. We also have Maria and Nixie. Nixie, that's the correct. How do you spell it?
Nixy.
Nixy. That's a pretty cool name,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I guess that's another thing you guys get to do, is you get to see cool original names all the time. So, because like, yeah, Nixie, I've never heard that one before, but that's real interesting. Well, we got 2 of the Tucson International Academy success stories here in studio with us, and already completed their first year at University of Arizona. So they have made college come true in their life already and doing well. I'm guessing so far so good the first year of college.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but the pandemic.
Yeah, they make it easy. Yeah, all the fun stories and the movies that you watched about college, not so much.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know Principal Montemayor had a question for you guys. I'll let him shoot away.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor John. Well, George Washington Carver once said, education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. And not necessarily just speaking of freedom between wars, but the freedom to choose a career, the freedom to have options as to what you want to do with your future, because everything may be taken away from you except your spirit and your education. And that's how important getting an education is. And I know that both Carmela and Nixie have siblings attending currently at TIA. And my question for both of them actually is, how important is education in your family, and how important it is to pass down that legacy that you guys left behind at TIA and passing down the torch to your siblings at school?
So education is very important in my families because my parents and my grandparents, they're all like college graduates.
Nice.
So we can see that it's a great tool to have to go to college. And then passing that torch to my brother made it easy since he can just ask me questions at home. And since he was with me when I was at TIA doing student council, he already knows how to do like a lot of the things. But whenever he gets stuck, like he can just come up to me and ask me questions.
Nice.
So for me, education was really important because since little, my mom would say like, oh, you have to like finish high school so you can go into college, so you can be the first one in the family to finish high school, because my dad and my mom never finished high school. So just having that milestone done, like it was really like a proud moment for them, and actually going to college was even greater. So passing the torch to my siblings, because they're both in student council, my two youngest ones, and hopefully the youngest one will go to student council or do something around those lines as well. But it was really important for me to like pass the torch to them, because like it really helped me bring myself out of that shell I had. Like I was really shy coming into TIA. So seeing that they want to like also do the same, so they can like gain gain experience as well, and like branch out just like I did, was really great and proud. Like I was really proud seeing that, like yeah. So seeing all those, like all three of my sisters doing that, just like following my footsteps, like really made me proud, like, and doing all that was worth it. Just seeing them already in like student council, yearbook, and all those. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and as you can see, Pastor John, two completely different stories from family backgrounds. As Carmela said earlier, their family, it's all about going to college and they have the experience. So she comes from a family that has experienced college life, and Nixie on the other hand, she doesn't have that. However, what's really nice about this story is that both have that supportive parents that are pushing them. They're always willing to make that extra sacrifice and making sure that they go through with their college career. And that's another beautiful thing also about TIA, because we have always had our doors completely open for all of our students who have graduated from TIA. We welcome back our alumni, and they come back to school, and if they have issues, if they have questions, if they have problems, they have anything, we try to help them and be that support that they need, not only morally, spiritually, or whatever it may be, because going to college alone, it's really, really hard. And it's students can make it. I'm not saying that they can't, but it just gets a lot easier when somebody's there to give you a hand. And I'm just very, very glad that these two girls have that support system at home.
Yeah. One question I'm going to ask you, ladies, is actually it's two questions for each, but anyways, it's the same questions. What would be the biggest thing that you saw at TIA that helped you out immensely? And then what was one of your funner times at TIA?
So one of the biggest thing that helped me out was like the teachers. So there was this one time where I was in physics class, and then I almost cried because I couldn't do this one problem. And pretty much like the teacher just like told me to like calm down, and then like he extended the deadline because I was really stuck, and then he actually like helped me out in tutoring after school to like do the problem. Yeah, so it's like
Nice.
I really like that, where the teachers were like so easy to like talk to, and then that there's also free tutoring after school if we really need help.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely had at least 2 or 3 moments like that in high school and in college where around math particularly, where there was just a problem that was just so difficult that I couldn't figure out, and I'd start crying.
Yeah.
So you are not alone. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But when it comes to like the most fun I've had in TIA, it's probably organizing the haunted houses that we had for Halloween. Yeah, it was pretty cool because like the kids actually liked it. At first we were like, this is gonna go bad, and then when they said like we can't wait for next year for the next haunted house, like that really like excited me because like I never thought that they would like it because like of course like we use like crafts that we know to like make the decorations and stuff like that. So yeah, that was probably one of like the most fun I've done there.
Nice. What about you, Nixie?
I would say around the same. Like the teachers were really wonderful to me. Like to this day, I still get those emails like, "Oh, how you doing? Like, do you need help on anything?" Well, I really like establishing that bond between my teacher and me. Like he was like didn't only teach like the normal subjects, math and stuff like that, but he would also help us like real life problems, or like anything we had trouble with, we could go and say our troubles to all the teachers, which I really liked. And for me, like the most fun I had at TIA, I would say the same, like organizing those events and seeing like all those happy kids, like running around, like saying, "Oh, like it was so much fun, like all the decorations are so pretty." Like we used to do all the decorations by hand, like DIY projects, so it was really fun, like having our creative skills brought out to like real life. So it was really fun.
So if you can imagine, Pastor John, the fun that they had doing those events at school, can you imagine the fun that they're going to have when they come to our community and start building up this community as well?
I know, for sure. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, we'll be talking more about the awesome things happening at Tucson International Academy with Carmela and Nixie after this break. That's also Principal Montemayor and Principal Meehan there on the other side of the hosting table. Instead of Dr. Jennifer Herrera, I'm Pastor John McClain. This is the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy. And we'll be back right after this break.
International Academy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Making College Come True radio show brought to you by Tucson International Academy. I'm Pastor John McClain, here without Dr. Jennifer Herrera. Wah, wah, wah. But the good news is I do have Principals Montemayor and Principal Meehan in studio with me in her stead. Thank you, guys.
And not as great as Dr. J, but definitely Mr. Meehan is an upgrade.
No, you both you're kind of killing the game. You're both doing really good. Like just your energy together is really fun. You're kind of like old high school chums, doing a show together.
Yeah, we've been working together for a while.
Yeah, I guess like working in the foxhole like you guys do. That's just how it happens. Huh? Yeah, for sure. And then also we have two former Tucson International Academy students and current University of Arizona students in Carmela and Mrs. Nixie. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They only get one mic, so they had to share the thank you on that one. Yeah. So before we went to the break, we were talking about kind of the most exciting things they've got to do at Tucson International Academy and some of the fun things that they got to do with Tucson International Academy. But I'm really excited to hear about the process in graduating Tucson International Academy, and this academy that is all about making college come true in people's lives, and how that process was for you guys. And I guess I'll start off with you, Carmela, on the question in what was it like to finally graduate high school? Well, that process. What was that process like, and what was the the celebration like following all the hard work to get you to that point?
So at first, like we like I know that the school had planned like a huge graduation, but like during our graduation, COVID hit. So it was really like crazy because like out of nowhere we were like in online school, and then we were like we didn't know what was happening. And then at first we thought we were not gonna have a graduation, but then they hit us up in our email saying like, oh, we're having a photo shoot for your yearbooks and stuff. And then on that day they then announced that, oh, we're having a graduation. Even though like it was just a small graduation, since only parents were like allowed to go, it was still really nice that they actually like gave us a graduation when other schools didn't have it during that year. So I think like building up to that graduation, I think the biggest challenges I had was like coming up with the essays for like the colleges and stuff, and like the scholarships that we also like applied to. Yeah.
Why would you say that was the most challenging part?
I think the scholarship, like the essays for the scholarship, since there's like so many students who are like applying to those, it was not easy to like overcome like a lot of the students. So that was like a really huge challenge, but good thing our English teacher was like very helpful with that, and he would like check our essays first before we submit, and he would give us tips on how to make it better. Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that was just kind of mindset? You just kind of when you're in your own head, you're like, oh, there's like these thousands of kids that are applying for this, and I'm never going to be good enough, and I suck, and I hate you. Like that.
Yeah, I think so. But the teacher really like helped us out, saying like, you guys can do this. Like I know you guys can do this, and then like it really helped me out.
Well, that's cool. It's good that you overcame that. So, extend the question to you, Miss Nixie.
So our senior year was like totally different. Like halfway through the year, I think March, like right around my birthday, I remember sitting in the couch like waiting for like the next week, like, oh, we're gonna go to school, but no, we were like hit with like, no, you're gonna do online. So half our senior year was online, which was fine, but it was a little hard to like get used to, which I had trouble like just staying home, like not seeing my friends. But like I think my sisters really made that bearable. And I also had like contact with the teachers through Zoom and stuff, so it was okay, but it was totally different what I expected my last senior year to be. But we overcame it and we graduated. So graduation was like totally like something we did not expect as well. It was like you had masks on, everything had to be spaced out, which was fine. And we also like graduated, at least we graduated with our friends, like I get to say that. Yeah, so it was different, but it was fun.
It's a thought, and I've been talking with just among my friends who don't go to school, obviously, about this over the past year. But it seems like you guys' class, of all the classes, have really got like society's short end of the stick. Like there's just like so much you've been looking forward to in college, so much you were looking forward to in your senior year in high school. Like there's just all these experiences that it feels like you guys are missing out on. Do you guys feel that way? Have you been having those conversations, that dialogue yourself, or do you feel like in a way our society's figuring out a way to kind of fill in those gaps to make sure that you still have memorable experiences with this time, despite the fact that coronavirus, like you said, put things on hold for a lot of things?
I would say we did get the short end of the stick, because like our senior year was half online, and then going into college we also did not get to experience those like memorable events that they have, like orientation, like freshman parties, or like even human interaction, because everything was online our first year, which was really hard to get used to, because we also were going into college where like the atmosphere and the environment, all homework is different than high school. And on top of that you have the pandemic where it's everything online, everything is so different than what other people are telling you. Like they tell you college is like so much fun, and so it was really different and difficult for me, at least.
Yeah, I agree with Nixie. College was not something I expected it to be, because like after the graduation we were already like, our mindset was like, oh, colleges have to be like, it's gonna be online. But then doing that, we thought it was gonna be like easy, because like, oh, it's online, like you don't have to go to school. But then they gave us so much homework, and I was like, oh no. And then that's when I realized like this is not easy, because like it wasn't easy to reach out to the teachers as well, and then we couldn't really make any friends because like it's always online. So I was like, we're like looking forward for this year though, because at least this one's gonna be in person. So that's at least that would make up what we missed on our first year.
And I don't even have time to answer this. The question, I guess I'll pick up this question when we get back from the break, but I wanted to.
But I think we can ask this question since we're talking about their graduation. They both have siblings who are going to be graduating pretty soon. Are you guys going to be sharing that graduation, or are you guys going to steal the thunder from them, or what's the plan?
So like literally last week I was talking to my sister like, oh, I'm gonna graduate this year, and she was like, oh, we can share it together, because like I know you did not have that experience you wanted to have. So she was like, oh, we're gonna go all out, we're gonna get a party bus, we're gonna do all that. Like you can even put in your gown and I'll be okay with it. So like I'll be for sure living her moment with her, and I think that's like really special for us, like her sharing that special moment with me. Like even though I did have a graduation, it was like okay.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll talk about all that and more after this break. This is the Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. That's Carmela and Nixie and Principal Meehan and Principal Montemayor and Pastor John and Tristan. We're all here.
Academy.
Hello and welcome back to one more amazing segment of Making College Come True radio show, brought to you by Tucson International Academy. Principal Montemayor is over here excited that he only has to hang out for another 12 minutes and he gets to go back to just being a principal again.
Believe it or not, we're very shy, Pete and I, and for this is something, doing this, something completely new, and and it's just, we like it though.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. I'm really proud of you. Particularly like throwing those quotes in there. You're kind of like, you're raising the bar for me here. I'm going to have to definitely start bringing some quotes in town. Benjamin Franklin once said, with a little bow tie. But yeah, thanks you guys for being here. And Principal Meehan, thank you as well. And then also we got, I'm pretty sure, two of the star students from Tucson International Academy, because they're definitely bringing their game here. I mean, you're certainly representing Tucson International Academy well. We got Carmela and Nixie here in studio with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys need your own radio show. The principals and the students every Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. on KBOI.com.
It'll be Sunday.
So, before we went into break, we were talking about the short end of the stick that you guys got, and as a member of society that got to enjoy college the regular fashion way. I'm sorry. But tell us more, I guess, about so far the biggest challenge that you've faced in going to college, not how we are used to going to college online. I know you touched on a little bit how not having that interaction and not having what you were expecting, but what would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced so far in attending college?
So the biggest challenge, like I said earlier, in TIA was so easy for me to like reach out to the teachers, but in college that I was never close to any of my professors. So that was like the biggest challenge, was trying to like reach out to them, because like I'm also a pretty shy person, so it's like having that relationship with the teachers in TIA since I was in 6th grade made it so easy for me to ask help. But when in college, where you have like different professors per semester, it's literally like a different phase, and you're just like starting to build another relationship with another teacher, and I just never got to do it because like I never had like the confidence to reach out to them.
Well, for a shy person, you're doing a great job today.
Thank you.
The same question to you, Nixie.
So for me, the biggest challenge that I faced was actually like mental health, because like you're online this whole semester with no contact. You're just at home sitting by yourself. It gets really lonely and depressing. So on top of that, you don't have communication with like any of your professors, as Carmela said. So having like homework and everything, like not being able to get that help you need was really like a struggle for me. For the first time ever, I had it like, I remember getting like a D in a test, and I was like really sad about it. I didn't have anyone to relate to. Well, I had Carmela, but like it was like still to text. Like you don't have that everyday everyday face-to-face communication, which we used to have, which was really stressful for me and like really depressing, I would say. So that's the biggest challenge that I face. I think loneliness. Yeah.
Nice. And I guess another question I was interested in knowing is, how are your grades this first year?
So for me, the first semester I actually did pretty well.
Okay.
It wasn't like it was hard because I had to get used to it, but it wasn't like as hard as my second semester. That one really hit me hard because like they gave us so many subjects for my course that I took. There's so many subjects in just one semester, and I was like, how are we gonna do this? So I pretty much had no life in second semester compared to my first one. Yeah, so second semester my grade really went down, but the first one is actually pretty good. Yeah.
What about you, Nixie? You had a look on your face.
So as I was saying, the first semester was like really hard for me because I wasn't used to any college online, especially. So, well, I did pass like with like A's and B's, but it was like going from like a straight A student from high school and going from A to B's. It really like hit me like. Maybe I had those doubts, like maybe I'm not that smart, maybe like can I pull through? So but the second semester I really like adapted to like the online thing, so I was like, so I got really good grades. Like I think I adapted pretty good, like I got straight A's in my second semester, so I think I pulled through.
So even through the hard times, you were able to adapt?
Yeah, I would say I was able to adapt the second semester, having like all online, like knowing that everything is through email and everything. So.
Right. So in adapting and making it and understanding how it worked the second time around, now that you're going to go back in session, I think this is going to make it a whole lot easier now, face to face?
I would say like also again, like going in through fall, we are going to go in person. So having to like adapt now to like from online to in person. Hopefully it's easy, but who knows? Maybe.
Because I know I talked to both of you before, and I remember Carmela was telling me, she says, I'd rather see my professors in person. And then I know for you, Nixie, it was online was a little bit easier. So now that you're going to be going into in classroom again, are you going to find, Nixie, at all if it's going to be to be a little harder?
Hopefully we get to see each other around campus, like even just say like, oh, let's go have a study date. Like we really want to have that connection still. Like I know some people like after college they lose that friendships they have in high school, so having that friendship for us, that bond, is really important for us. So hopefully we can still have that in college.
And then that will happen. So Carmela, you want to go ahead now? You can tell us your.
Yeah. So pretty much in my first year of college, I did have classes that were in person, but not all of them. And I really found those classes way easier than the ones online. So I really hope that like this upcoming fall, it would be like so much easier because I would have other students that I can relate to, because like I can talk to Nixie, but like we have different courses, so it's like way different to like complain about my subjects when she has different ones. So it's like having those other people that relates to me would really help me out, and then so like doing homework together with other people too.
Yeah, I know a time I took a logics class in college, and the idea of using words to do math, I couldn't get it. I just couldn't figure it out. And I was like right on the precipice of failing the class. So what I did is I, looked out for the smart kids in the class. It probably would have been you two. And I was like, hey, would you guys like to do a study group? We'll meet once a week. We'll work on our homework together. We'll work on the assignments together, and then we can all do well. And I didn't tell them how dumb I was. But, and thankfully, because I did that, I ended up getting an A in that class. So yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. Having other people around, even just to complain to, or to share that gripe with, it makes a big difference. So yeah, I'm excited for you to be able to have other people to interact with that aren't on a screen.
Yeah. And I'm curious, that given the pandemic year that you guys experienced going to the U of A and all the changes, now going into, one could say, a non-pandemic regular school year, what is some advice that you guys can share with juniors and seniors, not only from TIA but from all of Tucson, of things that you've experienced, what to do, what not to do that first year in college?
Oh, I think the biggest advice I could give is to watch out for that date where they say that, oh, your classes are gonna, like, you have to register for your classes. We didn't know that because, like, our first semester, our teachers were like, not our teachers, like our advisors set up our schedule, so we didn't know that we had to like wait up for this day and then schedule right there. I think that was like my biggest tip, because like I didn't know that until like noon that day, and then when I started signing up for my classes, there were like half of them were already full. So yeah, so I think that was the biggest one, where it's like watch out for that date where you have to like sign up for your classes.
For sure, that's a great tip.
My advice would be to surround yourself with people, things, or environments that will help you grow outside of college, because it's really important, like having that person like, oh, let's go study, let's go do our homework. Having that like little push is really helpful in college, because like you have no motivation to do work, so having that person or that thing that makes you want to do that is really important. So I would say find whatever your person, thing, or environment that makes you want to succeed in college. So
yeah, and probably in the contrast, try to avoid people and environments that don't work toward that.
Yeah.
Because
well, listening to that good old saying, you know, you're the average of the 5 persons that you hang out with. And if you surround yourself with people who are motivated and want to do better, then it's going to motivate you to try and do better as well. It's a good advice. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we got probably about 45 seconds till Principal Montemayor's nightmare's over. So what is something that you think that you know, someone who's considering going to Tucson International Academy should know to kind of help them make that decision?
I think the biggest thing that I think people should go to to TIA for is that how family-like it is in school. Because like I know in big schools, like I've never been to like a big school here, but like I've heard so much stories of like kids not even having friends, or like kids who doesn't talk to their teachers and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest thing that I say TIA could provide. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like having, like to this day, I have those connections that like I will have till like the end of time. So I would say the same.
Nice. So you heard it here first, people. Tucson International Academy is a family. If you have a group of kids, or even if you have a kid that is looking for a family environment to ensure that they find their way into college, Tucson International Academy is the place to do it. And I guess you go to TucsonInternationalAcademy.com to sign up and all that kind of fun stuff. Yep. And you got 4 different campuses.
4 different campuses, yeah.
Yeah. What else am I forgetting? Anything?
Well, 792-3255. They can always call.
Awesome. Absolutely. Well, thank you again, principals, for coming.
Thank you.
Ladies, thank you for coming as well.
Thank you, Pastor John.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Making College Come True radio show. We did it once again. It was brought to you by Tucson International Academy.